High vibration, sweet babies. So I have just been here shuffling, pulling cards in tune, just feeling into things that have been showing up and I've been feeling into now for a while. I was traveling. For those of you who don't know, I'm a full-time travel model. So I just spent the last week in Louisiana and Maryland, Philadelphia, and then over to Delaware before I came back home. And so I'm feeling like really wanting to just slow down and be with my own energy, but also make sense out of all the things that were coming through for me. I get a lot that comes through for me when I'm traveling. And so I've been pulling cards, as I said, and I did a karmic masculine reading, and I wanted to also do a karmic feminine reading. I will say that when I did the karmic masculine reading, it very much felt like someone listening to gain insight in the karmic masculine. Now, that could have been for themselves or for someone outside of themselves. I will say that with this reading, it feels very much like this is for the karmic feminine to learn about the karmic feminine. So like you're listening for yourself almost. And if you identify as someone who's more masculine, that's completely okay, because we all have these dualities within us. And this might be what you need to hear about the feminine within yourself. And it could be also the feminine in your life. Use your discernment. You're here for a reason. If you don't know, I do put a lot of symbols down in the description. So if you want to go down there and find more affirmation that you're where you need to be, check out those symbols and see how they feel for you. So I think the way I'm going to phrase this reading is more so about yourself, if I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like your energy is moving upward. So you've been very rooted, very grounded, very solid. I feel like you are like the rock. Like you are very centered in yourself and your life. I'm here with my Troy boy. Okay, buddy. If you're new here, I like to visit my family's dog and pull cards at my family's home, and it's a thing I do. So if he likes to chime in, I usually just feel like he wants to be part of the reading. He has something to share. So yeah, there's something to do with, I feel like you made this commitment to be very loyal and true to who you are, and opening up your heart and just being really like in your personal power, being like, this is me, take me as I am, take it or leave it kind of energy. And it's allowed you to be very rooted and very grounded. And I will say that I do feel like the karmic masculines in your life, or even just people in general in your life, are very magnetized to that and want to connect and have access to that. But you are entering a time in your life where it's just really not the right time to be focused on someone else. I had this message coming through as I was pulling the cards that was very much like, you kind of have the, I don't know why he's barking right now. Actually, I think my neighbor's out and about. So you kind of like know these like very big core parts of yourself. You're this, I do this, I act like this, I have this, and you're like, yeah, that's me. Woo, I know that. But now you're trying, it's like a time for you to fill in the gaps in these little like intrinsic ways, and you're like, oh wait, this makes even more sense about me, and where this even came from, and why I like this, and why I do things this way, and who I am in my, like, it's this fill in the gap portion where you may have been filling in the gaps for others in the past. it is now time for you to not put all of that focus and energy into others. And I think it has been really important for you to be in your own energy and in your own space. And I feel like if you are, your home environment and your home space, a change in residence was very destined and very important for you to be able to connect to that sense of personal power and loyalty to yourself. Let me go and settle him. I feel as though what's really beautiful about karmic relationships is sort of like all the tiny little details, changes, decisions, moments somehow put you in this time and space, connected to this person, connected to this situation where this door opened. Like, it's so happenstance. Everything in life is just so happenstance. And I think you feel in your core of cores that where you are now, environmentally, physically, like in your 3D world, was done by the hand of the divine. Like, you had a helping hand by the divine in all of that happened. And you can see that. And I think you understand that you were, in a way, blessed, but it was also just so fated for you. And in that way, it was also fated for the karmic masculine that you're connecting with, whether this is them listening for you or, you're trying to figure out how to navigate your dynamic with them. You have to just remember that they are not just karma for you, but you are also karma for them. And that does not have to mean anything negative, okay? 657. Remember that you are not destined to always be learning lessons that feel painful. And I think right now you are like so committed to just going here. You have been so rooted and so grounded. You make intentional actions. You're committed to the actions that you take. You are serious about allowing change to occur when it needs to occur. You're so committed to embracing yourself throughout all of the stages of your metamorphosis. And you are so absolutely committed to yourself in this time and space, in a really not even selfish way, not even selfless way, but just in a very I'm at peace with who I am kind of way. And that's really all that there is to it. Someone is 888 might be significant for you. There's a lot of 8s in this reading, and 8s just showed up in a notification as I'm reading these cards. Someone might have something to tell you that really helps you to move on from a situation and to realize that something is truly over, or that it's unavailable, or just a waste of your resources, your time, and your energy. Because, you're really noticing and knowing for yourself that this is a time where I just have this really strong feeling that like your main focus is not even the karmic masculine, and that's why you're here reading this for your own energy. Like, you're just so not focused on that. For you, you're in such like trust and divine guidance right now, like very much just in flow. You trust in the divine timing of things. You're following your heart. And in a way, it almost feels like you continue to like bewitch people. Like, they feel like this, like they're under your spell or something. And you're just like, but I'm not even after this. Like, I'm not even looking for this. What I'm actually looking for is to really be in tune with my own phases, with my own, I feel like maybe your emotions are very much guiding you at this point in time, and 1010 is significant. So showing like that maybe you were suppressing emotions for quite a bit, and now you're in a place of really being okay with feeling the feelings and just being in flow with things. You're not resisting how things show up. And when things arise, I see you just being extremely light, and your energy is now moving upward from this very rooted, solid, grounded place, which you can still feel into, but you're kind of tapping into this crown energy, this personal power energy, this like connection to source energy, feeling guided energy. Interesting enough, hurtful words may have actually helped you in this process of knowing, okay, this person is really not conducive to my journey in being my best and highest self. And I think you have enough experience now with being in your feminine energy that you can see when someone is like activating you to, you're no longer feeling that softness. You're no longer feeling that flow. You feel the hesitancy. You feel the doubts. You feel the concerns. And something, maybe even a breakup, hearing about somebody's maybe like nasty divorce. Maybe you went through divorce. Maybe just hurtful words, a specific conversation even really allowed you to just fall back into your complete trust in your journey that you've been operating from. And I do see that you have an awareness of your own karmic cycles and your own karmic journey, and you're really trying to pay mind to that. And you've for some reason the energy of like you've paid for your own cycles in the past. Like, you're not ignorant to the fact that like you can really cause some things to go south. And you are not like this complete Zen master, who's not ever causing issues. Like, you are aware of the cycles that you have to break, or that you have broken, and that you don't want to see play out in your life again. And you are cautious about that, because you have paid greatly for those things. You've seen what happens when things just go completely unexpected. You've guarded your heart. You've been cautious. You've seen how that can even in itself cause issues with your own feminine journey, right? Like, when you feel a need to clam up, if you will, and guard and protect yourself, having too many expectations. And you also know what it feels like to have somebody who's at a distance, whether this is physical or emotional. You know that both are painful, and you know that sometimes the emotional distance is way more painful than like having to be like physically away from someone, but both can be extremely painful. But you also know that it's so much more painful to be at that sort of distance within yourself. So I see that there might have been someone here that was reflecting some interesting lessons for you, but you weren't getting lost in it. There was a karmic masculine, I do think, that was showing up for you to help you see how some of these things are at your own hand. Like, you are very much able to fall back into your own same cycles, whether it's someone else there doing it, and playing a part in it or not, like you kind of have gone through some cyclical natures in your own time. But for whatever reason, you were able to really put yourself in a very grounded, stable place that as these cycles and these familiar situations were showing up for you in this current time and space, it really actually allowed you to recognize, like, I will not put myself through these types of hurts again. I will not lose myself in this. I will not decenter. I will not waste time on things that feel imbalanced, that take away from my feelings of softness and an open heart. And let me pull a couple more clarifiers here. I think following the lunar cycle at the moment is going to be helpful for you. Connecting to other people in their feminine energy is going to be helpful for you. Yeah, so not only are you're going upwards is what I've been saying. Like, it's not just your crown. 333 is definitely being significant. Yep, commitment. Wow, that came out twice. That's awesome. You are so committed to your own journey. You're so committed to yourself and to just being open to change, and that's really beautiful. Somebody's birthday might be significant. Oh, my birthday just came out. That's funny. Which is 12/12, by the way. 67, yeah, self-love. Okay. 222. You're connecting to a lot of people who are going to help you in your enlightenment journey at the moment. Even when it feels like someone's like a monkey in the middle or causing some, like, mayhem, or I don't even want to say mayhem. It's just like causing friction or whatever it is. You're just like, I know that you're here because there's something you can teach me. Like, you are so in connection to this journey and you're just so tapped in and like in the flow of all of it. I just feel like you're just flowing. You're just like not tripped up. And whenever something does show up for you and you're awakened to like these karmic feminine wounds within yourself, you just kind of see it as an even more of a beautiful experience of connecting deeper and bringing things to light and lightening those parts of yourself. Home environment. Home is really specific. I did do a reading just a little bit ago about how there's like this need to come home to yourself, and I think that's exactly what is in these cards as well. It's just like whenever you feel something kind of pull you away from feeling really in union and in connection to yourself is worth looking into, and that in itself might be the karmic wound that really needs tending to and healing, and like is part of that cycle that you yourself get yourself into, whether there's someone else there instigating it or not. And that's why you're not even here. You might have also listened to the karmic masculine reading, but like this one, you're like, okay, I'm ready to hear, like, what's the tea? What do I need to stop doing? Because you already know. You just are here for a little extra affirmation and guidance. I know this for you because you're so tapped in and tuned on and in the flow. And if it's something that you don't know, you're just like, okay, let's do it. You have skunk medicine showing up right now, and which means having the confidence to be disliked. You being in your flow right now, you being very intentional and serious about the actions you're taking, it might shake up some people who are not very intentional. It might shake up people who have some lack of confidence. You know, that's just kind of the name of the game. I'm surprised Flamingo didn't come out, but that's okay, because Flamingo medicine is very much like ruffle some feathers, like be the bright pink superstar that you are, and and then skunk it out. Have the confidence to be disliked. 9 is showing up here to show that, like, and it's right above cycles. Like, there are cycles that you are ending right now, and whatever person that shows up in your life, any kind of karmic masculine energy that's showing up in your life, is just helping you bring, like, real awareness to that. There is Virgo showing up right now. Just find out more information. Don't overwork yourself regarding this person. If you yourself are the Virgo, the same energy applies. But yeah, I'm just really feeling like, wow. Let go and let God, okay? When it comes to these cycles that are showing up and you're like, oh no, am I doing this thing again? Oh no, am I following the cycle again? Allow yourself to trust that you can take the lead in this situation and move with more integrity, or move with more discernment, move with more grace, more flow, more ease, and let go and let God, like you've been doing. Fall into trust, fall into acceptance with your journey, fall into complete agreement with your metamorphosis, okay? And following your bliss is really going to show up in your gut right now. You are going to be, I think, in a very like sacral, solar plexus, like identity work stuff going on here. But it's going to also be really, star, your soul star chakra. Like, connect to your star power is going to help you, which is like your divine gifts, more than anything, is your star power. Is going to help you really connect to your identity that you feel really rooted and grounded in here in the physical plane. Okay, so your gut is going to guide you in a lot of those ways. So follow your bliss and follow your gut. And you can go the distance. Okay, 222, lots of two. Oh my gosh, 2 is everywhere. Beautiful. You can go the distance. Whatever it is that you're setting your sights on, whatever it is that you end up feeling right about, whatever it is that you decide for yourself, you can do it. You can go the distance, and you can close the distance. You can close in on the distance between you and what you want emotionally, what you want physically, what you want with others, okay? Distance, honey, is not an obstacle. That is not a hindrance. I just cannot stress this enough, okay? And after me just traveling about the United States, I'll tell you right now, distance, it's like neither here nor there. That's an earthly plane problem, okay? What you want to manifest and what you want to see unfold in your journey, you can go that distance. But right now, I don't see you being super directly intentional about anything in specific, although you may want to start to be. I think right now all you're doing is just really feeling into the moment, following what feels good to you, following what feels good in your body, taking directional action when it shows up, but not necessarily in a specific I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be doing this and I'm gonna you can maybe start doing that, right? But I think you just needed to first and foremost close the distance between you and self. And it's really interesting because self is masculine. So you're here, karmic feminine, and you're still learning, how this is happening within you. So if you're karmic masculine and you're here and you're trying to get insight on the karmic feminine in your life, externally, internally, it's right here. It's saying, okay, you've been in flow. You've been going with the flow. Now it's time to come back to self and balance this masculine energy of saying, I want this. I'm going to do these actions to do it, and it's going to look like this, and I'm going to witness this in my life, right? So yeah, finding that balance, finding that divine union within yourself, and that really being your focus right now is going to be so, so beautiful for you. And I feel like a lot of this you're so already in the know and in tune with, because you're so much connected to your feminine energy in this time and space. But sometimes just being so in the flow and just being in tune with everything that's happening in the present moment and around you, it's hard to like move into this other way of thinking and feeling about things, which is like, okay, now I want to direct and set the stage for these things, these actions. I want to do this, So I hope this was a helpful reading. I hope it wasn't too confusing about like, don't read into it too much with the whole like, oh, am I in my feminine or whatever. You're here for a reason. You felt called to the symbols, you felt called to this message, and that's really all that needs to be acknowledged, really. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm sending you lots of love, and thank you so much for listening along, and I will talk to you soon.